We remember the day the stars answered, the day we learned we were not alone.
As a child, I watched countless sci-fi shows almost every weekend. We played with models of every franchise we could get our hands on. My dad went to the movies with me to watch giant spaceships battle each other in galaxies far away. I was thrilled and inspired by Star Trek's Starfleet and their peaceful mission of exploring space and strange unknown life. I always thought how cool it would be to live such a life, but not in my wildest dreams did I think of this moment right now. After years of planning, budget begging and resource gathering from governments and companies, it is finally done. Mankind's first real spaceship is built. Not those little capsules of the glorious Apollo program or the space shuttles of NASA, no, a real spaceship. But we didn't build it for the dream of peaceful exploration of my childhood, but for our very survival. Still, it feels like my childhood is coming to life, but in a different way. Nonetheless, we'll be ready for strange life and other things to come. Here at the cockpit of our first human warship in space. If the aliens want this planet, let them come. We will be ready. Hey guys, Stealth here and welcome back to Terra Invicta, episode 9. I don't know about you, but I think it is time to build the Eurasian Union a little larger. And I have the claims to do just that. I just need a bit of time. You see, with a project that I've completed, I now have the ability to start laying claim to some of the former Soviet bloc nations. I can take Slovakia, I can have a claim on Poland. I do have a bit of a claim here on Prague, but sadly the whole region of Prague has been integrated into the rest of Europe. So if I want to, shall we say, detach this and reattach it to its faithful owner, Eurasia, I'm going to have to take it from their cold dead hands. Which I can do, but these guys have a pretty advanced army. Russia does not. So I'm going to, well, sorry, Eurasia. Eurasia does not. So I'm going to have to go about it a bit different. I'm going to have to do it with subversion. Now, the Southern Balkan states, not my department, but Bulgaria is. They've already been part of the Eurasian Union for a while, and I'm eagerly awaiting their integration. The same can be said for Romania, but Romania is putting up a bit of a fight. And for the next 5 months, the Romanian protection or Romanian control points are being protected by the Protectorate, as a defensive situation has been situated, or has, defend interests has been run there. Hungary, I have one of the 2 control points. I would love to get the second one so I can start to set this thing in motion as well. And as for my fleet, well, we're getting somewhere. I now have 3 ships. I do find that these ships are getting increasingly expensive, because every ship takes 1 point of mission control. So I'm also very much interested in taking Poland, because it has 5 additional mission control points. When it comes to my ability to wage war against Europe, it's tough. Because Europe has a lot of friends. A lot of powerful friends at that. They have Japan, they have South Korea, they're okay. But also countries like Iceland, the Alpine States, Denmark, Benelux, a lot of these guys are going to come to their aid if I decide to declare war. So it's going to be a bit of subversion, a bit of taking time. As for a screen that I was looking for in the previous video, it is part of the Intel screen. And if you go to prospecting, you can see all the various asteroids, all the various positions that I can go to, and that are potentially interesting to get. So I have the positions on Ceres, I have a probe going to Pallas, I think, and I have the positions on Mars as well as Luna. One that I'm still looking for is a higher amount of input of fissiles, because that is a bit low. And the D'Alembert crater, Luna Regolith, is 0.58, but the Mare Tranquillitatis Luna Regolith is 9. Sadly, not mine. It's already taken. I'd very much like that position. So is Zeno Base by the... no, that's the Academy. So as you can see, the more interesting parts have been taken. But there are ways to go about that. my counselors can take over other territories, other space installations. Some of the missions that you can do... Let me go to the codex. Some of the missions that you can do are take over control of a position that the enemy has. Sabotage a HAP module is one of the options. Ideally, I would just do a hostile takeover, but this is for a organization. I need to do that for a whole station. Control space asset. Persuade a HAB or ship crew to join your faction. Requires we have sufficient mission control to take it on. It requires the persuasion stat and requires me to spend influence. I happen to have a guy who is really good at this. The only thing is, I might have some problems getting there, because you cannot simply go to an enemy asset. In order to get there, I'm going to have to use Alex, and he needs to have an undercover trait. Because if you want to get somewhere, and if you want to try and persuade them to come to your side, which I'm not even sure he can do, I'm going to need to get this guy the undercover trait. Otherwise, it'll simply not work and he'll not be able to get up there. So for now, I think trying to turn other stations, not quite going to work out. What I'm going to do in this episode is build the Eurasian Union further. And in the meanwhile, we are doing some research on orbitals. So we're also going to be building out our orbital stations a bit more. And as for my personal research, in a few months we're going to have the hydrobiology research complete, which is part of the campaign trail. And this should be an interesting bit of research. Let's see what I can figure out from this Hydra alien corpse that we have. After a while, this draws my attention. The United States and America, under control of the Initiative, has declared war on the Ratnakaran states, fine, and the United Kingdom. The defending alliance will be led by the UK. So what I think happened is that they initially wanted to take the Ratnakaran states, and the UK is their ally. I believe that those are down here? I even have absolutely no idea what the Ratnakaran states are. It's the Initiative, right? It's the Initiative that have control over the US. So, who are the Initiative at war with? It's the Servants, I suppose. The Initiative, Relations, Servants. Servants? War. Yeah, that makes sense. I really wonder how this is going to play out. I really wonder. Where's the UK army currently at? Are they still somewhere rampaging around Africa? Because that's where they last were. If they haven't been destroyed. There's been so much war going on that I'm finding it very hard to keep track of where everybody is. I can see that Europe has one army there, another one there. They have built a third one and a fourth one. So they have a lot of firepower. I don't know where the UK is. This is going to be really interesting to keep track of. Could we see the first nukes flying back and forth? Oh, and to make matters worse, there's another alien. I have detected them in the Kourou region of the European Union. Right, over there. Yeah, we're gonna have to mobilize Mr. Lewis and take out this alien. Another alien dead is another step forward for humanity first. The aliens appear to be having a really bad day. Lewis was unable to take down that alien that I detected, but now an alien has crashed in Turkey. A UFO. While the wreckage is unrecoverable, we suspect an alien life form escaped into the surrounding countryside. These guys need to learn to land. This is no way to land your spaceship. Although, fair enough. Any landing you can walk away from is a successful landing. So, in this case, maybe it was a successful landing. I just need to see if I can find that second alien in Turkey. Prominent figures supporting us in the Southern Balkan states have been caught in a massive public relations scandal. I thought I gave up the Southern Balkan states. Yeah, I gave up my control there. Nothing to be done but write it out, or... No, this is fine. I'm not really going to care. It causes some of the public opinion in the Southern Balkan states to turn away from humanity first. That's fine.
Here's what we found.
Now, where is this alien? What the shit is Poland doing? Oh, you're launching a rocket. Good lord. I thought they were sending something my way. Lewis's second attack was a success, and the Xenoform Alpha 2 is down. This is going to give me a bit more of a boost of our Xenology research, but I think I'm almost maxed out. Because I'm looking at a Xenology boost of 49%. I'm not sure how much higher it can go. But at least another alien lies dead on Earth. That's the only type of good alien. After some further research, we completed the Hydra biology project. Our pre-autopsy assessments reveal that, as expected, the aliens are carbon-based and breathe oxygen like ourselves. Their ability to exist without protection on Earth makes it highly likely that the atmospheric composition on their homeworld is highly similar to our own. More unexpected is that the prevailing inverted knees anatomical theory is incorrect. What we are seeing is not the knee, but the ankle. Thus, their leg anatomy is akin to that of a horse or a dog. Since this type of structure is better suited to speed than climbing, it is highly likely these aliens evolved on a flatter terrain, and perhaps were once prey for another species. The autopsy itself has yielded invaluable details on the aliens' physiology, specifically how they are capable of feats and abilities impossible for any species on Earth. So I've completed the objective. Good, what comes next? Our chief pathologist has sent in his report. It's 15 pages long, so I'll give you the short version. Our alien visitors are big and tough, a bit over 2 meters tall. They breathe oxygen, they eat carbon-based food, they walk in cliques, and they're really damn ugly. From a tactical point of view, 3 things stand out. First, these things are really goddamn hard to kill. They have a redundant biology with 3 heart/brain clusters. Shoot one out, and the thing can just switch to its backups and keep on fighting. You have to take out at least 2 clusters if you want to put it down for good. Info sheets with cluster locations are being distributed to all our frontline troops, but until we figure out something more precise, we're recommending the use of heavy weapons. Second, these things breed slow. They start as hermaphrodites and only become male or female towards the end of their lifespan, which is long, at 2 centuries. It sounds as though they reproduce a lot slower than we do, which might suggest they'll have trouble replacing losses. Might be some way to take advantage of that. Third, and most important, we might have a clue as to how their damn mind control works. The giant ugly thing on their face is some kind of sensory organ like a nose that takes in particles, but it also expels them. They have an internal organs that produce tiny particles that the face organ vents into the air. The biologists are calling these particles ferrocytes. The theory is that they might be able to use them to talk or control behavior the way ants do. They don't know how that can make a human drop whatever he's doing and obey a giant alien, but they want to find out. I recommend we let them. Finally, given that the aliens are giant demonic monsters that regenerate, our people have started calling them Hydras. It's as good a name as any. What comes next? We need to research these ferrocytes to see how exactly they use them as a control and communication tool. Research Hydra ferrocytes when it becomes available. It's going to take me a while. Sadly, salvage alien technology is not really getting any further because they have crashed UFOs all the time. A landing UFO, not really part of their plans for Earth. So actually being able to capture a live alien UFO is, at least for now, not that likely. After some months, the global research project Unity Movements has been complete. This is a very interesting research project for me because it opens up the road to building the Eurasian Union, even greater. It unlocks a ton of projects. The Central American Confederation, the Gran Colombia, the Bantu Nation, liberating mainland China, Europe Ascendant. They have all sorts of fancy titles. The one that I am most interested in is Forward Russia. This is only one of the 2 projects that I need. There is another one that I need to complete. Let me show you. Here we go. The Forward Russia tech tree. Forward Russia gives me claims on Vienna, Athens, Ulaanbaatar, Stockholm, Oslo, etc. Basically the whole of Europe. In order to get that, I need to get the Great Nations project complete. So after Unity Movements, hopefully we're going to do this one, but I don't have a voice. I don't have a way to control what happens next. So my best bet is to start influencing, or rather contributing, to the global research project. Because right now it is space research, which is okay. It's going to help me eventually. What I want to do right now is start to, let's say, pour 50% of my resources into this. And hopefully that way, once space research completes, which is only 2,500 points, it's pretty quick, I can start to steer the research project into the direction that I want. Great nations. And we can build our empire even larger. Of course, at the price, the expense of other nations, other factions, other control points. I do wonder when the situation is going to lead to a war. So far, I've been able to avoid nuclear war. I've had that little skirmish in Finland. I've had that little skirmish in Mongolia, but so far, the real big wars haven't happened to me just yet. Doesn't mean they won't, and I think at some point it's going to be fairly inescapable. After a bit of politicking, I have managed to unite China and Taiwan. This is going to be interesting, because this saves me quite a few control points, and it brings a very potent nation back together. Now, yes, this is going to cause all sorts of mayhem in the comments, of course, but hey, so be it. Anyway, this does mean that China is now in the information age, and granting a bit more military tech is always a good thing. As for her priorities, I have been doing quite a bit of mission control, so I can get more mission cap, and with that, the ability to control more projects. I'm currently at 22 out of 25, it is ramping up quick, and that's currently with the relatively small ships that I'm using. So if I'm going to go into the bigger ships, it's going to probably get a lot more expensive. Speaking of bigger ships, I have the ability, and I've had this for a while, I just don't want to make too much of an impression on space just yet, to build frigates, monitors, and destroyers. This destroyer takes 2 supply cap, or 2 control cap. So building a destroyer is going to take me about 10% of my complete mission control cap. Building out this is going to be a lot more expensive, building out these destroyers. This will be the Ninja class destroyer, and if I auto-design this thing, it's going to be armed with 10-inch cannons, it's going to have a Krait missile bay, it's going to have an auto-cannon, and it is going to be built in 135 days, which I think is still really quick. When it comes to offensive firepower, it's looking at 31. Yes, 31. Allow me to show you what the aliens can do. There's always an alien ship in Earth. Well, Earth orbit, that is. This is a fleet of 2 ships with an offensive firepower of 335. So that is 10 times the firepower of 1 destroyer. That is less than ideal. If I pick an isolated target, I got 263 or 244. So still a lot of firepower. This is the Resourceful Star, which has an advanced alien mag cannon, dealing 106 points of damage. Now compare that to my, 15 to 18 points of rocket damage, and I think you can see that my weapons are probably, well, a bit of a pea shooter compared to the aliens. They're also able, with their alien point defense particle beam, to shoot my rockets down. They might have an ECM system of some sort, I don't even know. The only thing I do know is that my targeting range with missiles exceeds theirs. So my missile boats, if you will, the Earth Defense Group, now consisting of 3 ships, might be able to do something. I'm just a bit scared of sending them in, but I am interested in just seeing what happens when I do that. So let's see, the ship that I'm trying to target is Victor... No, that's the fleet, that's Victor 21. We got Victor 57 here, 263, and Victor 13. We're going to transfer to Victor 13. Transfer to Victor 13. Flight profile. This is going to take more Delta V and less time to arrive. It's going to take about 6.5 days if I want to do it with as little Delta V as possible. Let's see. I don't really know what to pick for a flight profile, so let's put it somewhere in the middle. This is probably going to be a disaster, but it's going to be an interesting disaster to watch, I suppose. So let's wait until the Earth Defense Group, my 3 little ships, are going to get into position, and who knows? Who knows? Maybe we'll shoot down the alien ship. That would be fantastic. Here's the big fight. I have 60 firepower, they have 244. I can do a couple of different things. I can engage the enemy, I can accept the fleet attacks, we will fight, otherwise no combat will occur, or can I just evade? I want to have a loose formation. Wow. This is the first time I'm actually seeing all of these menus, so there's a lot. And we're not a convoy, we're going to be a line formation. Archers have... What the shit is all this? Okay. Long-range combatants dispersed. Larger ships dispersed. No, long-range combatants dispersed. That's fine. Engage the enemy threat. Both fleets are willing to fight. Prepare for combat. Cool. Let's do it. Let's lose some ships, I guess. Right. So what do we have here? We have our 3 ships. And I can set what I want them to do. I can set a primary target, which of course is going to be the alien bad guy. Yes. Would be nice. Right. Okay, so another factor is how are you going to orient your ship? I would like to keep it oriented forward. And I have no idea what I'm doing, honestly. Let's see. Set primary target, yes. Clear primary target, extend radiators. I don't think that's a good idea currently. We're going to just retract the radiators. And we're going to set AI control, no. Disengage. Ramming speed? Allows the ships to collide with the enemy ships. No, thank you. No, 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 no. AI control, toggle special maneuver panel, no. Focus fire posture, attack posture, balanced, defensive, fortified, or offer to end the battle, no. Okay, let's just see what happens, I guess? Let's just see what happens. He is going up, if I'm not mistaken. I can't even tell the range. I don't know how far away this thing is. What is this ship doing? This resourceful star. What are my ships doing? Let's see. I know what their speed is. I know what the Delta V is. Oh, sorry, that's my Delta V. Remaining battery charge, that's fine. This is the temperature. Okay. It does not seem that these buttons do much of anything. I should definitely do a bit more research into this. I'm sorry. He's doing all sorts of fancy maneuvers. That's incoming rockets. Stop. I thought you didn't have any rockets there, my friend. That's interesting. Okay. What about my ship? I got the Toxa, the Culverin, and the Goedendag. Attack posture. Like, I don't know why these buttons don't really do anything. I don't... I really have no idea what I'm doing. Can I just hand it all off to the AI? Yes. Okay. Play. Yes! Rockets are being launched. And we're instantly turning around. This is progress. Whether these will actually hit remains to be seen, and then whether they'll do any damage, I don't know. More rockets being launched. Ooh, boy! Well, that's one gone. Like I said, expect disaster. Can I tell this ship just to, like, GTFO? Like, start turning away? I'm afraid that I'll not really be able to do that. Start turning! Turning and burning. You too. Now, it's not like you can suddenly turn the ship around and run the fuck off, because you're approaching each other's orbit. So you're going to be inside of each other's firing range for a bit. And then you'll... I mean, if you'll slow down, you just crash. Because you don't have the orbital speed anymore. Come on. Tell me that at least something of my firepower is going to actually hit. Did everything just die? Yes, it did. Oh, here we go. That's all my rockets coming in. Their missile defense is doing fairly good work, it seems. Boom! Yes! Yes! Ship destroyed. So that was mutually assured destruction. I won? In a way? I lost my fleet, yes, but I killed my first alien spaceship. The battle had no winner. I'm going to disagree. Because with the first spaceship that I designed, I actually managed to kill something. So yes, I'm going to very much say I am the winner. This does mean that I have, in a way, freed up some mission control. So let's go build something a little bigger. Let's go build something a little bigger. Design ship class. How about that new destroyer? This one has the 2-inch cannon. Sorry, the 10-inch cannons. They still don't really have the range. I have a targeting range of 250 kilometers. It's not that much. Alternatively, a monitor. Ought to design that. If I just spam rockets and then have some defensive weapons in the form of anti-missiles, so a couple of autocannons, maybe that works better. Drag this over here, drag that over there. You're gonna go with an ECM Dazzler, that's fine. ISRU module is not what I need, because I'm just gonna use these in orbit of Earth. So let's give them a magazine instead. And then hope that these point defenses plus the ECM are going to be sufficient to hold off the alien threat. I'm going to reduce the amount of fuel. So once again, I'm just trying to stay inside of Earth orbit. I don't know, give me 30 of these, it's fine. It's going to cost me 300 water. I have 1500. It's going to cost me a fairly healthy amount of volatiles, some metal, some nobles, and some fissiles, which I have all of. So, let's try this again. The USMC COG class. It is not a transport, it is a defense bomber. Save the design. I would like to build one of those, please. And I'm going to do that in the orbit of Earth. It's going to take me 135 days, it's going to get expensive. I would like to get 3 of these. They have a lot more firepower than the previous one, and as opposed to my previous ship, they also have the capacity to defend themselves. On paper. So let's hope that that's going to go well. I wonder how the aliens are going to respond to this little invent, this little incursion. Incursion, I should say. I have no idea what they're going to do. I have absolutely no idea. After a long time of researching stuff, I finally have global research complete, the arrival law. This way, we now have the access to space commerce, and I suppose with that, you can start to bring people into space, start trading, and get more money. Now, what I really want to get is great nations, most notably, forward Russia. I mean, forward Eurasian Union, of course. No, we're going to be researching great nations, and that's going to take a lot of time. It's going to complete on December 5th, 2031, which is in 2 years from now. Jesus. It's a really big research project, and keep in mind, it works both ways. It means that I will be able to expand my Eurasian Union. Other nations will also be able to get more claims and will work on additional projects. So they might too start merging nations into one. I'm going to let other people take point on this. I want to work a bit more on orbital cores, which allows me to build larger stations with up to a dozen specialized modules. And when it comes to the other project, fleet combatants looks really interesting. Cruiser, battlecruiser, and battleship. I expect it's going to be extremely expensive. I mean, a battleship is going to cost you 3 command, 15 per month. It's going to have 2 nose hardpoints and 6 on the hull. It's also going to cost you an arm and a leg, and the research is really expensive at 6,000. But eventually we're going to have to take the fight to the aliens, right? So let's start researching this, even if it's going to take me a lot of time. Yeah, 6th of February 2031. The Great Nations has shifted back 7 years to a completion of March 2036. That's fine. I think I want to focus on these two a bit more. I have been making some strides in Europe. I now have taken over what the game considers Slovakia, Hungary, and Romania, and I have defended all my interests here. I also have Bulgaria, and I'm very much interested in getting everybody into one big happy family under the flag of the Eurasian Union. It's going to take me a while though. These nations weren't particularly happy to see me, so I first had to convince them that we are in fact allies, and now that I have them at that phase, I can start to eventually unify them and then turn them into one big happy nation. But that is going to be an episode for a different day. Hope you guys enjoyed this one. Sorry about the blunders with the space conflict. I'll try to do better next time. And I'll see you guys soon for more videos.